Welcome to Spark Your Inner Genius, the podcast that empowers you to overcome limiting beliefs and unlock your full potential. Join our host, Rebecca Chalson, an award-winning personal branding consultant and founder of the Professional Brilliance Formula. Each week, be inspired by the captivating stories of brilliant leaders who are making a significant impact in their industries. Ready to spark your inner genius? Here's your host, Rebecca Chalson.
I'm here with the founder of the Professional Brilliance Formula, Rebecca Chalson. Rebecca, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, great to be here. So, brilliance. Let's not just talk about that, but I often hear you talk about helping brands get a little bit more personal.
Yes. Let's get personal about personal branding.
Well, let's do it. And,
Yes.
you help companies do that very well, and organizations do that very well.
Individuals. Yeah.
Yeah. How? Why?
So very often when people think about personal branding, they think of the building blocks such as social media marketing, blogging, podcasting.
Yes.
But very often they forget about what comes before that. And that is discovering your personal brand. What makes you unique? It's your super strengths, right?
Yes.
It is your insights, your values, the experiences that you have had that maybe have been different from others. And that really is where I support the strategy, because people very often will take for granted these skills because it comes natural for them, or the insights. And so having somebody else be able to give perspective and uncover, it's a magical experience.
Awesome. Now, what inspired you to be a little bit more personal in bridging the gap, building that bridge to be more personal and building that? But what inspired that?
So my journey, which I go into more detail in the Women Who Rise book, I came from a background of limiting beliefs and limited opportunities. I grew up as the oldest of 10 children. And when I was 14, my family joined a religious conservative lifestyle, otherwise referred to as a cult.
Got it. Okay.
You can actually check out on Netflix. There's a documentary about it called Shiny Happy People.
Okay.
And there was a perspective that you could not be real vulnerable. It was hard. You had to put on a front. You couldn't be personal.
Ooh.
And you also couldn't have a personal identity, because it's more about how you fit in than allowing yourself to stand out. And in society, very often there can be a mob mentality, even though there are people saying, oh, be you, right? There's that, like,
of course.
But are there really opportunities to do that? And when you are able to first discover and then unleash your personal brand with guidance, support, and of course the building blocks, then you really are empowered to create your greater potential.
I love it. So what do you, for you, and how you're helping C-suite level in organizations build those personal brands, what would you say is kind of like the first thing you help them understand and grasp for them to begin to launch in building their bridge?
So one of the things I say is, where you go and what you do may change in life, but you always take your personal brand with you. And it is so important that when you're doing your job, whether you're the CEO, a vice president, a sales director, or whether you have a team. Very often people who are in sales, they have to sell a product. They have to sell a company. But imagine the impact when people, at the end of the day, people connect with a person before they connect with a service. And so it is very impactful for an organization to, very often they have their messaging right to sell their service or product, but they struggle when it comes to the messaging of the personal brand of the individuals, because it's personal. And they don't always have somebody on staff to do that, right? and it's a vulnerable experience. And people don't always know how to ask the right questions to unleash their brand. Wow. And so that's where I come in. I also have a digital marketing company. So when we discover and unleash, we can actually create the strategy and execute. One of our popular services is LinkedIn Makeovers, where we will actually brand LinkedIn to be an effective personal branding tool. LinkedIn, did you know, I'm sure you know this, LinkedIn has billion users, probably adding more every day. internationally, especially for the companies that want to create an international impact. They really need to be leveraging LinkedIn to a higher degree. And the way to do that is to lean into the individuals on their team to grow their individual networks, but be able to communicate their worth and their personal brand in a way that resonates with the target audience.
Whew. Thank you so very much, Rebecca, for being here. And let me tell you all this. You don't have to be brilliant to have a personal brand, but having a personal brand will absolutely help you be brilliant, especially with Rebecca Chalson.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Appreciate you having me.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.